Doctor Who and the Kingdom of Silver.
What is up everybody, welcome back to another Doctor Who video here on my channel. Today's video is actually going to be something a little bit different. It's all about the very first experience I have just had with Big Finish audio. I have been collecting Big Finish CDs now for around about 2 years, and I'll be completely honest with you, it's taken me up until now to listen to them, not because I didn't want to, but because I don't really have much spare time, and when I do have spare time, I find it really hard to visualise when I'm listening to audio plays, so I've always struggled in the past and kind of given up. But I've decided to give it another go, and boy oh boy, I'm so glad and chuffed that I have, because the 4 stories that I've listened to so far have been incredible. Now I'm picking the stories at kind of random here, I don't really know what to go for. I'm really deciding what doctor is it, what monster is it, that sounds like a good combination, I'll jump straight into it. That's how I've kind of gone with it. Now 2 of the stories I've listened to, I've actually got CD forms. The other 2, I've only got the audio form. Basically, on the Big Finish website, which is fantastic by the way, you can go ahead and buy the CD and you get for free alongside it the digital download. Or you can just buy the digital download slightly cheaper and not get the CD. Now where available, I always get the CD because I like to have the actual item, and then the item will stay sealed because I haven't opened it, and I can just listen to it on audio on my iPhone or my iPad. It's amazing. But like I say, the other 2 stories that I've listened to, they didn't have on CD form, so I had to download those and listen to those, but that doesn't matter. So the very first story that I listened to in its entirety of Big Finish audio was this one here, the Juggernauts. Now I chose this because I love Davros, I love the Daleks, and I even love the Mechanoids, or spoiler, the Juggernauts. So it was a no-brainer. It's got Colin Baker as the 6th Doctor, and it's got Melanie Bush as the companion, played by Bonnie Langford, of course. Now, a lot of people have said that the 6th Doctor is amazing on audio. So again, I thought to myself, do you know what? I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to see what I think. So right off the cuff, not only can I tell you that this story is actually really, really good, the 6th Doctor is fantastic, Mel is brilliant, and of course Terry Malloy plays Davros. He is superb as always, and the Daleks and the Mechanoids. It's a really, really, really good story. It's kind of like a deceptive story. There is spoilers in this, so apologies if this spoils it. But basically Davros is convinced the people on this planet that he's a good person, and they can't even see the fact that he's in like a Dalek chair, he's in a wheelchair, and he's tricked Mel into thinking that he is good. Of course the Doctor then arrives and discovers that Davros is there and his secret plan, and basically Davros is trying to make a mechanoid army, and the Daleks don't like it, and basically the Daleks and the Mechanoids fight each other. That's a really bad review, but that's kind of in, you know, that's it in brief. So I really did enjoy this, definitely a good jumping on point, 100%. I recommend listening to this story. I would give this story an 8 out of 10. Now some of you might give it higher or lower, but because I can't really compare it to many, I'm keeping my scores kind of a little bit, you know, a little bit fluctuated, but I would say 8 out of 10 for the Juggernauts there. So go and check it out if you haven't listened to this story. The second story is Red Dawn. Okay, so the second story that I want to talk to you about is Red Dawn. Now I don't actually have the physical copy of this, but I do have an Ice Warrior and the 5th Doctor, so I've got something to put in the video. So Red Dawn was the second story that I ever listened to, and straight off the bat I thought, do you know what, I love Ice Warriors, so this is going to be a really good story, I hope. So I'm just going to jump on. It has the 5th Doctor, played by Peter Davison, and it has Perry, played by Nicola Bryant. It has, I forget the names, but it has an Ice Lord, it has some Ice Warriors, it takes place on Mars. You've got some kind of human people, some are good, some are bad, some are trying to keep the Ice Warriors and others are trying to keep friends with the Ice Warriors, and without spoiling the plot too much, it again was a really, really good story. I find with the audio so far that I've listened to, the first episode sets the scene, can be a bit slow, but it kind of, you know, it gets you going. Episodes 2 and 3 generally go quite quickly, and then episode 4, or the final episode, whichever amount of episodes happens to be in that story, flies by, because it's just like everything's getting wrapped up and all the problems are being solved. Really enjoy the pacing. The episode length seemed to be about half an hour, so these audios are about 2 hours in length, so better ones I've listened to so far. Anyway, so Red Dawn, It's quite an old story, it's one of the first ones to be released on the main range, so I do recommend you going to get Red Dawn and checking it out. Now the next story that I've listened to, it literally had just come out, and the reason I bought it is because the front cover just looked amazing, and that is Emissary of the Daleks. And the thing that got me was the Supreme Dalek there. He just looks absolutely incredible, and I thought, you know what, I've got to be a part of this. So as you can see, this is new and sealed because I listened to it on audio, so therefore didn't have to open the CD, which is really quite cool. So this story contains the 6th Doctor, Colin Baker, Perry by Nicola Bryant, and it also has obviously the Daleks in there. And the storyline of this one is quite incredible because the Daleks have basically infiltrated and conquered this planet, but there's a catch. Some of the planet's materials are like poisonous to the Daleks, so the Daleks have to employ an emissary, which is this lady, and basically this lady is in charge of kind of keeping control of the planet but under the rule of the Daleks. Very, very good story. I mean, Colin Baker was fantastic in this one. Like I said, this is a very new release. It's only about a month old now at this point. Definitely worth checking this one out, and I would definitely give this one a 9 out of 10. This one's high up on the scale. And apologies, I forgot to rank Red Dawn. I ain't used to doing these sort of videos. Red Dawn I would give an 8 out of 10. This one, 9 out of 10. Easy, not a problem. Really, really good story. Definitely worth checking this one out. Okay, so the last story in this video that I've just listened to is called Kingdom of Silver. Now you can probably guess by the title, it does include the Cybermen. I don't have the physical CD because I had it on download only, but it includes the Invasion style Cybermen and the 7th Doctor this time, Sylvester McCoy. Now, I will say, Sylvester McCoy's voice is fantastic in these audios. He's very, very Doctorish. I will say for this particular story, it didn't kind of grip me like I was hoping. I did get lost a few times along the way, and there were a few characters that I was like, I don't remember being introduced to you, and now you're kind of the main character. I may need to go back and listen to it again. I kind of maybe had my mind wandering a little bit there, but if anyone's seen Kingdom of Silver, I want your opinions. Let me know what you think of the story. Maybe I need to give it a bit of a better shot, but that being said, I still did enjoy it. The last episode was fantastic as always, and this one I would give it a 6.5 out of 10, only because I feel like the story lost me a couple of times along the way. But that being said, that's my opinion, so I would love to hear what you think of those 4 stories that I've just chatted about. If you've enjoyed this video, then I can by all means make some more of these videos once I've listened to some more Big Finish stories. I'm set to go on a holiday soon, so hopefully I will be listening to a couple at least, and I will be back with another video when I have listened to, say, another 4 more stories perhaps. So until then, thanks for watching, and I will see you all again in another video. Goodbye for now. You will be like us, or like us.